Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be discussing what exactly happened to my Skyblock account. I'm not entirely sure. I've had this account running for about 9 months at this point, almost a year basically. I'm not sure exactly when I started it, but I've had quite the journey on this account. So I started this because I started seeing YouTube videos, specifically from the 30 virus, of this game, and I never thought I'd get really very far. I never thought I'd be able to put the effort in that the other people do to get as far as they did. But I still wanted to try, see how far exactly I could get, and surprisingly I actually got pretty far into the game. I hadn't watched many Skyblock videos at that point, so I didn't know really what I was doing, and I took like a month-long break as soon as I got a couple 100,000 coins, and I didn't think I was going to be coming back very soon. I'm not exactly sure when I came back or why I came back, but when I did I was really dedicated to get somewhere in the game. And so, I got my first couple million coins just from minions, not really doing a whole lot still. Then I decided to actually do something that took a lot of effort and a lot of time to make. So I made my first huge sugarcane farm. Once I finished that first layer, I realized I needed more farm. I was running out too soon, and so I made that, and then I made a pumpkin farm, and I surprisingly really enjoyed sitting there just building things. And then the farming events came out, my time to shine, and so I built even more farms, expanded my sugarcane farm, and I wasn't doing great, but I was at least placing in silver almost every single time. Now, dungeons had been out for a while at this point, but I didn't have the money that I wanted to invest into getting amazing dungeons gear, and it was only for people with really high combat level and everything, and I wasn't quite there yet. But I decided to start getting into dungeons right after the farming event started happening, and I was doing decently. Being able to just barely beat floor 3 is not very good of an accomplishment, but for me, without any combat training really at all, and no knowledge of how combat worked a whole lot, it was pretty good. And then I had even started getting into fishing. I bought a Yeti rod, but I couldn't use it yet, so I put down all 24 fishing minions. And putting down those fishing minions was one of the very last things I ever did on this Skyblock account. Why what happened, I'm not entirely sure. I just woke up one day, like every other day, to check my Skyblock account, and everything was gone. By everything though, I don't mean everything. I still had my bat person armor set, and a few things in my ender chest, but pretty much everything was completely gone. And I still have no idea why. I don't know if it was a Skyblock glitch, if my account was hacked, because I was recently streaming it. I don't think I leaked my Minecraft account, but I could have on accident. But I'm pretty sure I had a full Wise, Mastiff, a couple other things, and in here I had tons of valuable things like the second best sugarcane hoe, my aspect of the dragons, my aspect of the end, but for some reason I still have my mineral armor, and that's one of the most valuable things that I have, even though it's not going to be much use to me. You might think this is now the end of my Skyblock account. All my fishing minions, all with most of them having budget hoppers in them. And I really have nothing else to do now that all my items are gone. I don't feel like grinding anymore. It's just really not worth it at this point. But there is one last thing I want to do before forever giving up my best Skyblock account. That thing is reaching farming level 25. Now that might not sound like a big deal to most people, because they grind to farming level 50 or 60, but for me I've never had a skill get to level 25, and that's the end of the first page. The end of the easy part of upgrading your skills, really. I've had skills get close. I had mining level 24, taming level 23, and carpentry level 21. But I never got anything to that level 25. And so, with my pumpkin farm, even though I'm sure sugarcane is better now, I think people were talking about that, with my sugarcane hoe being gone, I think pumpkin is the best thing for me to do, with my rabbit pet and my golden axe. Sitting there farming pumpkins for the last 40,000 XP that I need. And what's really sad is that literally just before all this, I built this wheat farm because if I could lobby hop to get silver in wheat, I believe that if I built a full-scale farm, I could easily get gold medals in wheat. And I was really excited to try that out, but I'm not joking. The day after I finished building this and all the crops were fully grown, everything was gone. So at this point, I'd considered making an Iron Man profile, because I wasn't quite ready to give up Skyblock forever yet. But I realized that I learned everything I needed to learn from Skyblock. That grinding, sitting there being bored for hours is okay. It's actually fun, just sitting there doing nothing. Just because you'll know that in the future you'll get some kind of benefit from it. As much as I wanted to continue my Skyblock account, get to late game, because I'd say I was still in late mid game. I was just finishing up late mid game, possibly getting into late game. But I knew I wouldn't be allowed to put the time needed to get anywhere further in this game. I knew I had reached my limit with this account. And even if I could get further, was it really necessary? Was it really worth all the trouble? I think starting an Iron Man profile was the last thing that I needed. Spending that much time without being able to just buy something instantly that took hours of grinding, I didn't need to add that to my life. I had so many other things that I could do, so many other things that I could try and upload with YouTube that it wasn't necessary to start another Skyblock account. I believe this is something everyone should experience. Just suffering for so long and getting practically nothing out of it, but doing it willingly and still feeling good about yourself once it's done. So that is why this video is a tribute to Skyblock. An end to my hours, thousands of hours most likely, of work that I put into this. An end to it all. Thank you, Skyblock, for everything that you've taught me, everything you've done for me, but this is goodbye. Wait, do you really think I was done with Skyblock? No. As much as I wanted to be done with this game, I just couldn't leave it behind. As much pain as it caused me, I needed this game to keep going, to give me something to do when I had nothing else to do. And so, I did end up making an Iron Man profile. This is my Iron Man profile. There's not a whole lot to it, lots of Enderman minions trying to work towards an aspect of the end, but I'm not planning to do a whole lot with this. I'm not going to spend so much time like I did with my last profile. This will be any extra time that I have. I'll get on here, I'll do some stuff. Get on here daily just to pick up minions and stuff. But that's about it. No streaming, no recording. If I happen to get really far in this profile, I might start posting some stuff on YouTube about it. But at the moment there's no reason to. It's boring stuff, just a lot of nothing, a lot of grinding. If I ever get to the point where I can do dragons, I'll definitely do that, because that's the only way I'll be able to get dragon armor. Besides that, though, I'm not planning to do a whole lot with this profile. I'm not planning to be spending very much time on here. And so, Skyblock, I thank you for everything you've given me, everything you've taken from me, but I think it is time that I finally take my leave from this game forever.